Well, we're child free today and we finally get a chance to go out and test out this new kayak that we've got. So we're, I think we're just about ready. Everything's in the car. We're going to head to a place we went before with the kids that we really liked, but hopefully we're going to paddle out a little bit further and do some exploring. So next time we're with the kids and we can take them on a bit more of an adventure. So the car's all packed and we're on our way. When you've got something new like this, I'm always really apprehensive because is everything in there? Am I going to be able to set it up? Is it a wasted trip? Yeah, probably. Ever the optimist. Let's see how we get on. Right, well, your cloaks. Well, we finally made it out. We had to walk for a bit because it's really shallow here. Sarah is doing all the work at the moment while I'm relaxing in the back. We're going to try and head, I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, right over there. There's a little cafe, but hopefully if we head to, if Sarah can steer us the right way. Hang on a minute. Right, now we're pointing the right way. So we're going to head over there and try and get something to eat, but I have to say this was an awful lot easier than the other one to set up. It took slightly longer, but it's so much firmer. I don't know if you can see here, so much more leg room. There is a third seat that will go in the middle here, so yeah, with the kids and that we can take them out, and a lot more back support. It's much better. So yeah, happy now. We'll do this a bit more often, I think. And we've made it. Must be a cup of coffee time.
Gin.
Gin? It's never too early for gin when you haven't got kids. Oh,
yeah, pizza, please. Yeah. And then 2 big spooners on the beach.
Lovely. Try and take them down.
I'll give you a shower of pizza.
Thank you. Well, we got a bit sidetracked. We we went to get a sandwich and a coffee, and we've ended up ordering pizza and Bulmers. So yeah, the afternoon might be a bit better than originally planned. I do at some point want to talk to you about EVs that are going to be released between now and 2020, but not all your kind of your fancy concept cars, the actual ones that we're going to see produced and on the roads, certainly here in the UK. But I'm hungry and I need to eat first, so we'll talk about that later.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh wow, that looks good. While we're sat here, I don't know if you can see just over my shoulder, there's some beach huts. Now those beach huts, they run as far as I can see left and right. Now the beach huts here, they sell in estate agents for over £100,000 each. 200, you think? There you go, over £200,000 each. Obviously not all of them, because some of them are a bit like sheds, but some of them you can sleep in, you can cook in them, they're incredible. But you're not paying for the hut, so to speak. What you're paying for is this amazing view. Let me show you. Right, that's lunch done. Back in the water. Well, we thought we'd just sit here for a bit and bob about in the water because it's very nice, and as you can see, a lovely view again. So while we're here, let me cross the first 2 cars off the list of cars that we can expect to see on the roads before or by 2020. Now the first one, Tesla Model 3. We know about the pricing, we know about most of the spec. You comfy?
No, it isn't.
Need to work on that core a bit. So we know about the pricing, we know about most of the spec inside the car and outside the car. I think I'm right in saying we still don't know about the size of the batteries. I think there's lots of rumour about, but I don't know if we officially know about that yet. There's loads and loads about them on the internet, lots of videos, lots of updates. That's car number 1. Car number 2, much in the same vein, we've had so many leaks now that we've got a pretty good idea about the Nissan Leaf. We know what it's going to look like now. We know probably that it's going to have a 40 kilowatt hour battery, perhaps a second model at 60, and we know about ProPilot in it and all the other bits and pieces that are going to be in there. we decided on the way home, rather than going straight home, seeing as we don't have the kids and we don't often get a chance to get out on our own, we'll stop somewhere and have a bite to eat. So we've come back into Christchurch, which is a nice little town on a harbour, and we know of there's like a little wine bar. Never been in it before. They do kind of tapas and stuff, so we're going to give it a go. But in the meantime, Sarah's nipped to the shop. She's got a few bits to get, so left me here in the car. So while we're sat here, it gives me a chance really to talk about some more of these cars that are going to come before 2020. So the next one on the list is Ford. So they've spoken about a crossover vehicle. They have produced an electric car. They've done the Focus. The trouble with the Focus that they did was they didn't really make any. Well, I've never actually seen one in the flesh, and there's so few of them on the road, you kind of wonder why they bothered. So they obviously they've recognised that what's happening and where the future's going. So what they've said is they don't want to be rushed. They want to be able to make an affordable car, and they're talking about being a crossover vehicle, so kind of a pumped up hatchback, I guess is the best way of describing a crossover vehicle. And they would like it to have 300 miles range. So if they can do that, and if they can price it at a point that they want to price it at, then that will be really positive, and that will be a really good car to have on the road, because that is a brand that people, certainly here in the UK, people recognise, they buy a lot of. It's probably the most popular brand in the UK, and they trust. The next car that I wanted to talk about was another Tesla. Now this is something that we thought was going to be a little bit in the future, but kind of recent announcements look like it will probably be here perhaps before, but certainly during 2020, and that's their Model Y. Now it's probably going to be similar to the Model X, but smaller. It's going to be a sort of a small, I guess, SUV type vehicle that's going to be on the Model 3 platform, and whether that will allow them to put larger batteries in or more batteries in to give it more range, I don't know, but ultimately it should be a very capable car. Right, more about cars in a bit. For now, we are going to go and drink some wine and eat some tapas. Well, I have to say that was really, really pleasant. We had a lovely, well, it's not quite a meal, but a sharing platter. But apparently we're never going to share a platter again, because I ate far too much, according to Sarah. And as a result, she's now gone into the supermarket to buy some more bread and cheese, because she says she didn't have enough. I thought it was all fair game myself, but hey ho, we'll have a bit more when we get home. So while I'm waiting, the next manufacturer I want to talk about is Volvo, and this is quite exciting really, because if you've been following kind of the progression of EVs over the last few months, you'll know that Volvo have announced that from 2019 they will no longer make pure ICE cars. But the one that I'm interested in is the one that they've announced that I think they're going to build it in China initially, or that's where they will build it. They're going to have a 100 kilowatt hour battery, and it'll be good for 250 miles, they're saying. But the really exciting thing about it is their plans or their hopes are to introduce it into the marketplace at between $35,000 and $40,000. So that really puts it on a par with your Model 3, probably going to be your Nissan Leaf, your mainstream, what most people can afford EVs. And it looks like there will probably be another SUV crossover type vehicle. Well, she's still not appeared, so I thought rather than wasting my time sat here doing nothing, I might as well move on to the next car, and that is the Volkswagen. I think they're going to call it the ID. They're talking about it being maybe a 250 mile range. No other real kind of figures on why they think it's going to be that at the moment. They're looking at this kind of mass market, again, $35,000 mark car. As I say, they're going to call it at the moment the ID. It should be a kind of a middle of the range, not too big, not too small, that again will hopefully appeal to the masses. And here she is back with some bread and cheese, hopefully.
Next phase, bread and cheese.
And any wine.
I've got wine at home.
Good. So there we go, end of another good day out. We're home now, and we're going to eat some more cheese and drink some more wine, because apparently we haven't had enough. So that's our evening planned, but all that's left for me to say is if you've enjoyed today's vlog, then like it and share it, and if you don't do so already, subscribe to the channel, and you can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at EVOpinion, and I'll see you soon. Bye!